Got a nice little Cyber Dragon deck profile here. It's a budget deck because I don't exactly have a ton of money to spare. Infanti's the most expensive card on the deck anyways, and he's only like $8. So, without further ado, I guess we'll start off with the extra deck. Obviously, 2 Infanti, very self-explanatory, best card. And then 2 Nova, also very self-explanatory to get Infanti on the field. And then I got 3 Rampage Dragon because he's very good. Okay, you can see the effect right there. So that just, plus he's a good instant fusion or overload fusion idea. 1 Fortress because I don't have room for 2, otherwise I would, because you contribute your opponent's monsters. It's also good to have a Kaiju engine in this deck, but I don't like Kaijus. 1 Overdragon, just in case you need to, you know, kill them if you got some monsters to spare. And then nobody seems to like Cyber End Dragon, but I run 3. This one's really beat up, but yeah, I run 3 just because I typically run Malefic Cyber End Dragon, 3 Twins, because this is probably your best power bond option. You only take 2800 damage, and his attack is doubled, plus he can attack twice. So that's a lot of power. Now, I got 1 Rare Melamorph, just to give them a little boost, especially Infanti, because most of these guys don't have much attack, unless you get Twin with Power Bond or something like that. I think I run 2 of these. There might be another one in the deck. Just good for if you don't have a extra deck Summon Ray. I run 3 Dre, obviously. He's very self-explanatory. Used to get Nova on the field easily, which gets Infanti on the field. Obviously 3 Core, which is debatably the best card in the deck besides Dre, because you can search out Dre with Core while you control no monsters, so very easy to special summon if he's in your grave. Obviously 3 Cyber Dragons because, you know, he's the core of the deck. And then I run this because since this is a budget deck, I decided I am not going to run 3 Galaxy Soldier. That would be a very good idea, but I don't have $60 to spare. This is also a substitute for Galaxy Soldier just because it allows you to draw a card. Centrifugal Field, just because you're going to want fusion material monsters if your monsters do get destroyed. And you need a field spell for Malefic. 3 Proto Cyber Dragons, just for fusion summonings. Obviously, 3 Power Bond. There's 1 more of the Cyber Dragons. I didn't have this all set up. You're going to want 3 Cyber Repair Plants. You could run 2, but 3 works very well, because the more you have in the grave, the more searchability you have with this. Countergate, because you're going to have your field empty a lot, because you want to have your field empty, because that allows you to special summon Cyber Dragon, or use Core's ability. So Countergate lets you draw a card plus that. Field Barrier, keep field spells for Malefic. There's another Dre. Terraforming to get the field spell. I think I run 2 limiter removals, just because it's very good. You know, you could wipe out your opponent in 1 turn if you have a fusion monster on the field, especially if it's a power bond fusion monster. DDC, different dimensional capsule. I just run this for nostalgia because it was used in the original Cyber Dragon deck. Another Proto. One's Way for fusion summonings, and he's a good hitter. Has 1800 attack when he attacks. And Honest, because these are all light types, and he can greatly increase your light type's abilities and power. Scrap Iron Scarecrow, just in case you were preparing to get Infinity on the field, or Nova for that matter, anything like that. There's the third Cyber Dragon. Call of the Hind, because, you know, it's an unbanned monster reborn. Very self-explanatory. Another core. Black Horn of Heaven, cheap substitute for Solemn Strike. I love it. I think I run 2. Cyber Eltitan, in case you have a bunch in your graveyard and you don't have an extra deck summon prepared. There's the third Proto. Galaxy Cyclone, because MST is bullcrap and I can't afford Twin Twisters. Metal Morph. You know, these guys don't have a lot of attack, and if you're not ready to get a monster with a lot of attack, there you go. Apparently I have 2 Zways. I figured I only had 1. Well, anyways, they're just there because I can't put Galaxy Soldier in here. Same with Cyber Valley. Another repair plant. Machine Assembly Line. Now this does give them a little boost, but also allows you to special summon from the grave. So that's a bonus. Fusion Reserve, because you can add a Cyber Dragon to your hand. Well, there's a ruling on it though. You can't add just the level of the, well, for like Chimera Tech. I don't think you can just add anything like that. Like, it has to be specifically named. So you'd have to reveal End or Twin, another core, another limiter removal, Power Bond, Dre, Mirror Force because Scrap Iron isn't guaranteed, Versago because, you know, fusions. And then there's Malefic. He's a good little attack. There's the second Evolution Burst, an Overload Fusion. And I would run more than one Overload Fusion, but this deck, I need to take cards out. I would take out like 6 cards, you know, the extra Cyber Valleys and Zways and stuff, to put another Fusion in, Overload Fusion, and 3 Galaxy Soldiers. And then 1 Rocket Arrow Express. It's really just a fallback. It's not that good, it's just a 5,000 attack hitter, in case, or it's just good to have on the field to scare your opponent, because you're not going to take this thing out by battle. That pretty much completes the profile. It's a budget deck. It'll probably only cost like $20-30 to make if you don't already own most of the cards, especially since most of them come in structure decks. But yeah, it works for me most of the time. I only lose to meta decks, but if anything is not like specifically like top notch at the moment, then it usually fares pretty well because Infinity is really hard to kill, and that's your boss monster that you normally want. So yeah, that's it. I'll be doing more deck profiles. Of course, I'm not doing a lot of deck profiles. I don't run a lot of decks because I can't afford the really good ones. I'm currently working on a Magician deck, Dark Magician, because he has amazing support now. And I'm taking a Blackluster Soldier deck to competition in April, I believe. So hopefully that works out. I'll be doing that deck profile as soon as it's done. So yeah.